Hello everyone and welcome to this virtual judging. Yes, we've had to adapt in these times and this is one of the methods that we chose. Now, Ludlow Photographic Club have asked me to do this particular method for you, and this is basically we're going to run through every image that was being presented. There's two categories, there's general and advanced, and then we're going to pick winners. So we're going to pick a first, second and third and a commended for each category, and I'm going to present those. I'm going to go through and do my critique on each of the images for you. So hopefully you can decide whether you agree or not. You don't have to agree with me, I'm just one person. If you've created an image and you love it, fine, don't worry about what I say. But there might be a few little bits that I say that you take on board and go, actually, yeah, I hadn't noticed that, it'd be worth doing. And that's what it's about. It's about improving and helping and moving on with our photography. Hope you enjoy tonight. Without further ado, let's have a look at these images and let's get critiquing. Okay, this is Barney, aptly named of course. Nice composition that you've got into there, like the leaves, like the way we've just got it going off and add a focus into this bit here, which is nice as well. Colours are nice. There's a little bit up here that's just distracting me slightly because if you're cloning, I'm not going to hold that against you tonight because actually the first thing I see is the owl. Absolutely perfect, smack on. Background is nicely bokeh out. Yes, you've tried to extend that and you were right to do that as well. I needed that bit of extra headspace and what that would have just given me there. It would have been just too tight a crop for doing the portrait side. You just need to blend that in slightly into that. The colours are beautiful on these feathers here, absolutely beautiful. Beak is beautifully sharp. Eyes, lovely and black, although it does seem like I can see a contour on there, even though it's pitch black. Whether that's optical illusion, I don't know, but it's brilliant. Love it, absolutely love it. Detail in the feathers around here as well. The highlights are kept in, just losing it slightly on that little bit there. I'm not going to hold that against you either tonight. From that point of view, you've done a really first-class job of capturing that and seeing their patience, perseverance going out there doing it. Love actually the tone here. The fact that we haven't got the leaves coming all the way across, we've got that there as well. I know you had nothing to do with that, it's what was there, but actually it works really well. Okay, you've seen something that interests you here. You saw it with your eye, you've tried to capture it to present it to all of us. The one thing I'm getting here is if these gravestones are the pinnacle of where you want us to look, there's quite a bit of depth of field into there. I'm getting a lot of detail in the background. If we drop the f-stop down and alter your ISO or whatever to make those stand out, that'd be great for future. But actually I like the way that you've done this crop. The crop is nice, the aspect ratio that you've chosen presented well. We've got three main interests there at the front, which is quite nice, bringing it into that. I'm saying you've probably desaturated it a little bit, which adds into that, but those snowdrops, beautiful. Just got to watch the highlights on those. They're just starting to lose detail into them, but actually those splattered about into there, absolutely beautiful into that as well. So nice that you've seen the shot, you've took it. Well done on composing that. Yeah, nice little shot. It's you've took an action shot, but you've done something else with it as well. You've given it whatever effects you've added to it afterwards has give it a 70s feel photograph at the end of the day into that. Some nice little lens flare-y bits coming into there as well. Whether you've done this on a mobile phone or something, use some effects, you've done it on a computer, it doesn't matter from that point of view. You just presented me something which is lovely. Love the fact that you got the petals there, you've done something, you've took the shot. Yeah, it's quite nice. Yes, she's centre frame, but then that's fine. We've got the petals into there, coming into that. It's all about, there's nothing distracting in the background. You've added a bit of light leak into there as well to do something different. She is very hot on the colour tone onto there, but that fits with the style that you've presented. and it makes me reminisce into those sort of days. So I would not say that that was done last week or the week before, whatever. I think this, well, actually, it shouldn't have been done last week or the week before. We're in lockdown. Unless it's in your back garden. This is something that's, it just takes me back, and it's got a nice feel to it. So you've done well to present that and capture that. Yeah, you've been on a journey out. You've seen this and captured it. You've framed that door frame really nice into there. So we've got that really nice into the background, nice verticals into there. And your conversion to black and white is really, really good. Really like that. Love black and white. Works really well. The tones and the textures coming through in this brickwork there, and the door especially, look at that. All the mud and rain splashing up against the bottom over time, and you've brought that through, and that's worked really well. The contrast of this woman in her clothing is just fantastic as well. That just works so well against that back door. Really, really good. Really nice. You've left her space to look into as well. So obviously it was a grab shot. You were there for the day, you've seen it, you've took it, you've done really well with that, and you've processed it nice and well as well. Yeah, that looks a little bit too close for my liking. I think I would have been running about now, or hiding, or doing something. I hope that was on a long lens, and I hope you were safe. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the one thing I notice here is obviously we've exposed probably more for the background, trying to keep it in, and you've done a good job of that actually, because we've got, it's really quite bright there, and you've managed to keep the detail in all that there. We've got detail in the shadow area here, and actually the position that he's at, it's just nice enough to just set him off from the dark to the light there. Framing's nice with this tree, the way it comes round and into there. This little bit, that's not working so well for me there. It's just, I'm just looking at different crops, and you could have almost come in to that bit there. So let's have a look. You could have cropped to something like that, to be fair. I think would have made that a slightly better shot, because this is adding no interest to me whatsoever down this bottom right. There's nothing there. This is where the detail is, this is where the interest is, and actually that is a beautiful frame that you've got there into that. So have a look, see what you think. You might disagree and you still like that, and that's perfectly fine, but have a look and see if you think that's suitable for you. If it is, change it for next time. That bit there is just, that is very bright in my eyes, so maybe cut it down to there. I don't know. I do like that bit up there. Just darken that bit down there. Yeah, I do like that bit. I think if you, well, you could crop it into that quite tight again. Have a play. That's for you to play with. But what you presented me is quite nice. We could make that punch a little bit more in Lightroom or Photoshop, and just, you could work this. You've got so much that you can work with this image and take it forwards. You've started with a superb image. You just maybe just finish it off as colour grading it a little bit more into there, and really making that pop. But it's a nice capture, nice composition. It's a lovely composition that you've got there. So well done. Yeah, beautiful shot. You've just managed to keep the detail in those highlights there. That is just, I can see detail right in there, which is beautiful. Love the light just coming off and pinging down that right hand side. Just a little bit off the top there. Sky, yeah, it's nondescript, but it's got little bits of detail all through it, and it just adds, and we just got these two bits at the side there that just bring us back into the center and back down here. We've lost a bit of detail in this foreground snow here. That's a shame. We've got it just there. I don't know if there's anything we can bring back there in the original image. That's not for me to look at, it's for you. Yeah, but you've composed it nice. You've got the foreground interesting just in that corner to bring us in. It's just a shame about that stuff. I can just see detail just about in those bits there. Whether it's the processing, because we've got quite a line down there, whether you zoomed in, I don't know. This foreground isn't quite there, but it's pretty nice. I love the detail coming off this water here and the way it is, and the ice straight down. You've picked your vantage point, you've took a good vantage point of that. Take that picture. It's very difficult with snow. Well done, well done. Someone's been experimenting. Nice. Well done. Very, very clean. Very clean. Whether you've used milk or white paint, I don't know. It's looking quite liquidy. Thin liquidy, should I say. So it does look like milk, to be fair. Nice light. Your setup of your light is beautiful into that. Absolutely beautiful. Your colour choice for background is brilliant. Matches really, really well. And whether I would probably assume, I don't know, should never assume, whether you've composited these from several shots to get them just right, whether you've got it set up so that you can do those drips how you want, I don't know. But it's presented really well. Like it, nice, clean, nice shot, well done. Yeah, Lifebuoy in there as well, health and safety. Yeah, you're trying to talk to me in this photo, you're telling me a message, and the message is all about this Lifebuoy, and that's working. It's prominent in the picture. You're giving me context into that. We've got the sea, we've got the jetty out, the pier wall out there. That's working really well. Composition wise, you've got that nice, we've got the curve coming into there and leading us through, which is really, really nice as well. Yes, we've got a barrier into that, but then we get up to there and I can get out and round if I want to. So actually, yeah, it's quite nice. It's lighting is, it's just what it is on the day. You've seen it, you've captured it, you've took it. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not bad at the same time. We've got a nice little bit of shadow coming into there. We can see the shadows off the railing there as well coming into it. So yeah, and you've got your horizon line straight as well, which is nice. It's always a plus point in my book. Yeah, nice little shot. Well done. Wow, patience of a saint. Yeah, compositionally wise, lovely. I actually really like the fact that we're cutting off the bits there off the papyrus, just off that there, because it just frames that as the main part of the image there. I'm not losing it into the background. Your background is beautifully non-distracting and out of focus. And that sky, you were so lucky with that sky. I say lucky, you obviously had patience taking this shot. The detail is so crisp and sharp. I can see all the detail in those feathers. Colours are beautiful. Highlights and shadows. Yeah, first class image. Absolutely first class image. Well done. Beautiful image. Beautiful location. The first thing that really grabs my eye is your waterline is not straight, your horizon line. It's the first thing I notice when I look at this photo. Even the trees are just off to the right there as well, so you can see it actually. So they should be straight, and your horizon line. Yeah, you've took a beautiful shot. It just needs that sorting out. That's something you can do quite easily. I'm not going to hold you that too much against you at the moment. For that, it's just a piece of advice for future. You've also got someone just in the picture there. They're not actually adding anything as far as I can see into this picture. This is all about the landscape. I would crop in. I'd even get rid of that sign, crop in a little bit so that tree is on the right hand side there, cropping into that, and just crop into that boulder there, something like that. I think that will give you a nicer view into that image. It's going to take you straight into there and straight down to that valley. Those peaks there with the snow on, you've kept in beautifully, absolutely beautifully. Sky is gorgeous. In terms of saturation, you've got it just right. It's not oversaturated, it's not you've got it just right. Don't alter that. It's really pleasant on the image. The mist coming down there, just good. The colour of that water as well. So your colour tones are all brilliant. Just sort that cropping out maybe if you want to, that's your choice. And your horizon line as well. But it is a really nice image. Nice location, nicely seen, well captured. That is beautifully detailed, absolutely beautifully detailed. Love it. You can see the depth of field on the rocks there, which you've got it perfect, absolutely perfect. It's pin sharp, just picturing off at the tail, which is just spot on. This little bits of moss here, just adding to it. Background around it, non-distracting where the bird is, absolutely. This is probably a little bit distracting for me here, only slightly, but it's not the end of the world. It's not interfering and crossing over into the bird. We've got it beautifully in dark there. We've got some nice light bits at the top which are just setting in. That colour bit of flower that's coming into there, bud, whatever it is, that's actually okay as well. It is literally just those bits there. I appreciate you can't do anything about the time. The bird's landed where the bird's landed. You've got a few millimetres to move and you've got a few seconds to take the shot in as well. And you've done a superb job of that. I'm just being really, really picky. It's up to you. You could do something with those in post if you wanted. But if you want it as a nature shot and you don't want to edit that, then don't. That little bit on the very left there, I'll probably crop in a little bit more if you don't want to edit the picture, just to get rid of that. Because that's just slightly spoiling your image. Not anything I'm going to hold you against tonight, because that's neither here nor there to me. Just a few little bits for you to take away. But lovely image. Highlights and shadows, brilliant, perfect. You've kept that in really well. Yeah, nice composition there. Nice time of night that you've took that in as well. Done really well. Love those lights. You've got them lined up perfectly all the way down there. The reflections of the ground as well are just beautiful into that. And then we've got sunset at the back there. We can just see the horizon line just above the pier there, which is quite important. You've got that in well. And that's nice. And it's a lovely sky into that as well. That's a really pleasant image to look at. Yeah, love the leading lines. You've got right into corner, straight out and straight. Yeah, well done. Well done indeed. I don't know about a splash of yellow. Loads of yellow in this. We even got the odd little fly as well. There you go. He's enjoying it. So yeah, our main centre focus is this stem here, and that is in focus. It's nice. We've got this one as well. We've got depth to this image, the fact that we've got these at the foreground here. It does bring me in. Yeah, it's nice. I need a little bit more of interest. I'm thinking of this if I would have it on my living room wall or not. And that's one of the things I look at when I look at photographs. Is it something I could live with on my wall? Is it something creative? Is it going to make me go, wow? It needs something extra in here than just the yellow. I need probably a slightly different composition. But saying that, you've done a really good job of taking it. Actually, this foreground yellow, the way you've presented it, yeah, we've got yellow at the top there. I don't know if a full yellow background would have been better, or actually the contrast that you've got between the yellow and the green works really well. So as you can see, everything is subjective. You can do 1,000,001 choices. The most important thing is choosing something that you want and you agree with. And I think that's what you've done here. You've gone through what you like, and that's important. But I think it just needs a little bit extra in composition. You've handled the highlights really well. You've got the out of focus and the depth of field into there. I just want something slightly more, whether we're zoomed in more on one and it's a bit more close image. We just need a little bit extra onto that. But nicely took. Yeah, lovely letterbox. Letterbox suits that really, really well. Converted to monochrome has suited you really well. It's kept it in lovely. The detail in the snow in these bits here is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I can see all the detail into that. Love the light line coming out, just hitting the peak of those mountains there. The sky's nice there. We've just got a little bit of detail coming in. The grasses at the foreground are really nice as well. Yeah, you've done really well capturing that. You've done well at presenting it. Capturing it there, nature was there for you. You've made the effort, you've gone and done it, you've took it. But now you've presented something to me and you've presented it really, really well. It would have been tempting to do this in colour because of the nature of it. You've turned it into monochrome and that has worked. I do like that. Yeah, well done. Yeah, when you look at the title and the more you look at this image, the more you get that title. How did you ever see that straight off? Brilliant. I would not I've seen that for love nor money, but now you've mentioned it, it's something that I keep looking at, and it is, yeah, it's actually making me smile. I like that. Yeah, I just can't get that out of my head. It's like a big tuna. Or puff fish, don't know which. So I probably wouldn't have been so enamoured about this image if it wasn't for the title and what you've made me see in this image. Because what you have made me see, I can't unsee now I've seen it. We're losing a little bit on the highlights here onto that. We could have stopped it down a bit. We've got enough detail we could have brought back out afterwards in post in the shadows, because I can see stuff in there. Unless you've already done that, and that's why we're at where we're at, which is fair enough. I would have liked to see a bit more depth of field in this than just this first bit here. I would have liked to have gone back to about here and had a bit more depth into that to bring the image a bit more into life. As this is supposed to be the head, I really want that all in focus there, and then pitter off into the background. Yeah, it looks like you had the light there, so you could have done that quite easily and altered the focus into that to get your depth of field. But yeah, interesting image. I'm really impressed that you've seen that in there. Really impressed. That's made me smile. Well done, well done.
Okay, fantastic everyone. Really impressed. The winners are in. So here we go. Trusty, we've got them listed down so I'll get your names right. So commended is going to Happy Cadbury's. It Takes 2.5 Glasses by Julian Crumbleholm. I hope I've said your name right. Third is going to Southport Sunset by Brian Minnis. I hope I said your name right as well, Brian. Second is, okay, I'm not going to pronounce the second bit, is Stockness, Hoffen, Iceland? You tell me, it'll be on the screen in a minute. By Julian Crumbleholm. Again, well done, superb. First is going for the Malachite Kingfisher on Papyrus, Colin Albro. Well done everyone, superb images. It was such a pleasure to see them. Very difficult to choose where to go, but you know, there were some clear winners in there. Stand by what I've chose onto that. Well done, great to see some of those images, and some of you should be in the advanced with those images as well. So look forward to seeing you up there as soon as.
I'm running scared because I'm not convinced I want to be that close. I don't care if you've used the 600mm, I'm not sure I want to be that close. Yeah, beautifully detailed crop, using the square crop is gorgeous. You've zoomed right into that. You've really made him punch out, which is nice. It's just the detail into there is just beautiful. Background, I actually like these blue bits coming through into there, whether the sky or whatever coming through into that. I don't know, but it just adds a little extra dimension to that as well. This stick here is slightly bugging me. It's a nature shot. You can't do anything about it. It is what it is. You've took the shot. You were lucky enough to be able to take that shot and to get it. But it is slightly bugging me, being in that ear there. If you don't want to do any Photoshop work, then fair enough. If you do, take it out. Because actually it's almost like it's holding the head up, I don't know. The eyes, oh, they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and that fur is just stunning. Lovely composition as well with the rock there, it's just curving in. You've cut that in absolutely beautifully, perfect, well done. I don't know if I'm more impressed with the bird and the sharpness or the background. That background is beautiful. Absolutely, it's artistic in its own right. Without the bird there, it would be artistic. That bit at the bottom right, not 100% sure on in that it fits into that, but without editing anything, the composition that you got there and that curve is gorgeous. It just fits well. Pointing in, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, colours are lovely. Colour saturation just perfect. Yeah, really nice image. That's a really beautiful image. Really delicate. I wish the bee was either bigger or popped out more against them. But again, I don't. I like the fact that the bee is so small on there. It makes it delicate by doing that. I'm just probably thinking out loud, to be fair, as different things with it. Yeah, I think just the picture of the flowers is delicate in its own right. The bee just adds to it. Background is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just enough little bits of detail in there to make it of an interest of a background. Yeah, it's rare that I've seen a shot like that, which I actually think, wow, I like that. Yeah, interesting. Bit of still life that you took, really well done. Love the fireworks in the background. Whether you've done that with another photo, whether you've done it with a TV in the background, I have no idea, because surely wouldn't have composited that, because you wouldn't have been able to do it in the glass so easy. I don't know. Maybe you did. Yeah, who am I to say? Yeah, nice bit of still life. I think adding that in the background has made it for you, because it's made me think about this image, made me look at it, rather than just still life for glasses, which wouldn't have been that interesting. You've done something extra to that, which has worked quite well. We've got some sort of processing artifact going on just there. We've got some just there as well, I think, a line. So whether that's, I don't know. That's for you to look at a later date. There's a little bit more there as well. And I think if this was probably on a big projector, I'd notice that even more, to be fair. So it's worth looking at these little bits and pieces. I don't really notice it on a small screen. I'm not going to penalise you for that today. Onto that, it's just little bits that I've picked out. But yeah, nice lighting. Light the dark rim onto that there, into the contrast, into that. So well done. Yeah, you've handled that well. Lighting's beautiful on those petals. Absolutely beautiful. Detail in the stem wires, fine. Background, lovely. I've got bits of detail in there. A little bit of red that's slightly distracting there. Not the end of the world to me, but I'm just pointing it out so you see it as well. That's probably something I would have tried to darken down, maybe burn it a little bit in post, just to get rid of that. But love the greens into that. Just add that extra dimension. And they are nice. It's lit really nice into there, really soft. So this is nice. It's sort of two images that I'm getting here. We've obviously got the dam here, which is an image in its own right, and I'm looking all around that and just to see what's going on. And that is lit beautifully into there as well. But then we've got this image up here with the dark skies. It's just about to refill everything again. You've kept this rock in the foreground and these grasses here just cutting off quite nice. It's give me foreground interest into that. You've handled your focus brilliantly, so lovely detail coming into there all the way through. We've got nice composition there, nice patches of light coming through. Yeah, really well handled shot, nice. I like that, well seen. Must have took you a bit to climb up to there as well to get that. Yeah, nice little silhouette. I quite like that, going into the sky. That works quite well. The only thing that's not working so well for me is this bloody signpost that's wonky. Because that's just the way it is in the country. Saying that, it's made me think about the image more. I think if it was just an image on its own, would I be that enamoured? It's just a silhouette. You've kept the base in nice. Base is beautiful into there, nice detail through into those branches. And that does add a bit that makes me think, makes me laugh and smile as well. Yeah, I can't decide which way. but it is making me smile, so well done. But it is lovely sky. You've tried to find something while you've been out there like that. You've experimented with this sort of shot and it works well for you, so nice. Nice letterbox. Always love trees in the forest like that. It's just, you've got some nice different ones in there. You've got some nice detail on them as well. You've picked to have these silver birches in the front, and that works really well into that because they always do pop a little bit. We've got it going downhill. Yeah, okay. I almost feel like we need to get a bit lower to the ground and tilt the camera a little bit to get the forest floor. It's almost like we've done this at standing height looking down. I need to feel a slightly different perspective on that. The perspective just isn't working so well for me, unfortunately. I'm just trying to think what it is. It's very difficult, these type of shots, to get that and to get the forest floor right with everything else. It could be the light that's causing that, to be fair. It is just a standard day. There's no great contrast in light into that. It probably needs a little bit extra work to make that up to standard, to be fair. I am losing. This foreground bit has got no interest to me whatsoever. Yes, it's forest floor, I appreciate that, but it's not actually adding anything to me. It's almost like we need that in one of the corners up close because we've got the detail in it, and we're lower down, and then we get the rest of the forest floor in. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't pick that. This is what you've chose to present me. I'm just saying it needs a little bit more into that, though. But it is always a pleasure to see forest shots like that. Beautiful shot. Love it. You got some nice long exposure into there. We've got the waves just coming back into that. The ice there, the crystalness of it is just gorgeous, and these stones, the black stones, you can see where they've just been wet, and that's always quite important, is that when stones are there like that, having them wet, because they just glisten. Sky's nice. Yeah, I was just checking horizon line. It's perfect, don't worry. Sky is nice into that. Love the way that breaks up into the sky there. It's a nice shot. It is. I think composition-wise, I probably would have liked to see it slightly different, but you know what? I do. This coming in here is just gorgeous, and the foreground here is gorgeous. I almost feel like you could have cropped that a bit more like that and got rid of this. This is taking me back out of all this gorgeousness, and although this is nice, and that could probably be an image in its own right into there, something like that, so you could probably pick a few different images out of this. The composition that you've chose of this as a whole and the direction isn't quite working 100% for me. But there are things that you can take from that and do with it to make a few different things and just to tweak that slightly. I don't like the fact that I'm going through all this here, but then I'm coming back down to here. I'm not getting up to this top bit up here. I'm coming round and down. But still a lovely shot, don't get me wrong. I'd be more than happy with that if I took that to have that on my wall at home. I'm just being extra picky, especially in this category. So yeah, well done. Yeah, nice little posing with your portrait that you've took there, having a tree there. We generally say don't have hands in into certain stuff or pose them a certain way. You've done very well at posing that hand. It's just that, you know what, I should be looking at her eyes as the first thing that I see when I look at this portrait. Unfortunately, the first thing I see is the hand because it's very bright into there. I'm going straight into it. I'm not looking at her eyes. And in portraiture, you need to make a connection with the person. I want to look at their eyes. That's the first thing that I want to see. I want to connect to their soul. I'm not actually getting that at the moment because I just keep going back to this hand. It's not working in your favour. It is brighter than the face as well, which doesn't help. But compositionally, if you did this tree and you've got that background which is beautiful, like the scarf as well, that works well. The hair's working well into there. It was all really nice. There's a lot more that you could do with playing around with that tree and that background and that person as well, to be fair, into that. It's a nice step into that. Lighting's nice. You've not overcranked it. You've not gone and done beauty portraiture to the face, which is nice to see. You've kept it real into there. She's got expression in there as well. Highlights are handled well. The thing is, this shoulder's very prominent as well, to be fair, because it's very in focus. It's got a lovely little pattern into that there as well, in the jacket thread. And that is such a massive area that that's even competing with the face as well. And I want to be in this face. That is the area that I want to be, especially the eyes. So you just missed the mark, I think, on that portrait. It's a nice portrait shot, and it'd be something I'm happy to have at home. If that was my other half or something like that, it'd be great. But in terms of portrait for club competition, I needed to do more. But I think you could do that with that location and that model as well. Okay. Oh, we are blessed to have so many steam trains around here, aren't we? Yeah, nice shot. Steam out of that is beautiful. Colours lovely into there as well. Nice composition. We've left just enough at the bottom so we're not going straight into the corner, which is nice to see. I don't like it when it goes straight into the very corner and stuff like that. I'm sure I've done that a few times, but I don't like it when I'm judging. Nice little bit. It's almost on a bank. It feels like it's just turned into that. You can just see the angle of it, and actually that works really well. That fits in nicely as well. It is just a nice shot. Lighting is just there. There's no real wow factor into that apart from the train itself, which is lovely. And having a tornado blasting down the line is always worth getting your camera out and capturing, to be fair. But in terms of a winning photograph, I need something extra into that to really punch it. But as a photo, I'd be pleased to take and to have in my collection. Yeah, lovely. I've had to take a double look at this photo, just to see the line coming down there at the beach, which is in total shadow. Then we got the light coming in on the sea there, reflecting. Stacks are brilliant, just brilliant. Love that. I would have almost said that you needed to crop it in more and just make that the key. But then you've got this beautiful sky at the top here. We've just got this middle bit, which is just killing me. Almost want to remove that middle and move this down. So take that and just move it down a little bit more to there and start that there. I don't know. That's me being really picky. Nature's presented that to you. You've took it. And you know what? All these birds flying around as well. They add to the picture to me. I like that. I love them just popping up into the sky there. I'm assuming the birds. I can't zoom in and see them. I'm not going to zoom in and see them if I can do that. It looks it there, to be fair. They just look high in the sky. Those ones at the top right, yeah, I could get rid of those, to be fair. Keep it around these mountains, or stacks, whatever they are in the sea. And I think you could have probably cut that down to there and just got rid of that last little bit into there as well. I think that would have helped. And that's me being really picky. You know, it is a lovely shot. You've done well. I like the tone that we've got into there as well. You've not tried to oversaturate it. You've not tried to punch the blacks up. Yeah, Seven Valley Day, always good. Always a good event. Everyone gets dressed up to go there. The thing with this shot is obviously they're posing for someone else's photograph. And you've grabbed the photo and you've took it. But if I was going to do that, I probably would have wanted the other photographer in as well, because that's the scene that you're capturing. You've sort of took over their photograph, but the people aren't looking at you, if you know what I mean. They're looking somewhere else. It's not even if they're looking at a 90-degree angle off to the side or anything else. They're literally looking at someone a few feet away from you. And I think if that's the case, I'd like to have had them in the picture as well, because it's telling the story. At the moment, they're not engaged with you. It needs something else into that. There's not enough there. The train itself, yes, we've got a nice little bit of smoke coming out the top, but that's it. I need some more engagement into that picture. The light is just the light. It's what's there at the time. There's nothing amazing about the light in the picture. Yeah, you needed something else to that picture, to be fair, than just a snap. Yeah, I noticed the lights coming down to those. You just managed to keep the detail in those there coming down. Almost lost it, but you've kept it back in. Nice and bright coming into that there. Yeah, it's a difficult shot. Obviously, we've not got beautiful backgrounds with green leaves and trees because that's not the time of year that we took it at. And we're trying to signify something. I think the background is very, very messy for the subject that we're trying to show. It takes away the detail from signs of spring, which is obviously what you're trying to show. I want that to pop a little bit more. I want it to say more of a story, really. More story. I want it. Yeah, I want it to be about that. At the moment, it's getting lost in the background. It's not quite working for me, unfortunately. It needs something extra. Composition's not right for that shot. Although the composition for the branch coming down is lovely, what's in the background just doesn't quite work for me. I want to say a simple shot. It's simple in the way that you've presented it, not necessarily simple in the way that you've took it and processed it. Your horizon line is beautifully straight, and I love that. Thank you for that. Your long exposure works well into that. I love the colour tone into it, and I think I love the aspect. I'm just picturing it in my head in different aspects, and actually, yeah, I like that. I like the way you presented it. It's a very beautiful, clean, simple image that you've presented. Not necessarily how you took it, so don't get me wrong on that. It works lovely. Love that. The white is just beautiful into that. You've kept that really well. It's the sort of picture you could see hanging up on walls. Yeah, obviously we've took this at the time of day. The sun's just setting, I would say. We've got shadow area coming into here, and you've just managed to keep that in. It could be rising, don't get me wrong. It could be an early morning walk, actually. It's just, you've just managed to keep that into there and keep the detail and the highlights as well. There's massive contrast between the two. We've got not a lot in the foreground, it's just water. It is a snapshot as far as I see. It's not necessarily a landscape because we've not got enough in there really to make it a landscape all the way through. It is a snapshot of that environment. But your highlights and shadows are handled well. Seagull coming in, lone seagull there. Yeah, in the right place at the right time. Or you've had the patience to wait for it, and that's worked quite well as well. Because that just breaks that area of sky up into that. We just need something else in this bottom area. And maybe pull these shadows back just slightly to match more in with the picture. But then it is telling the story that, you know, the sun's just about rising onto everything. Or setting, one or two. Yeah, winter walk. You've seen someone on the beach. It's not particularly good light. Yes, he's wearing red. I'll give you that. You got that bit. There's not enough interest in that picture for me in terms of light, although the reflection is quite nice in the puddles there. Those reflections there from the pier, struts and the people, actually that is nice as a picture. The angle you've took it at, which is quite high up, as an overall picture, it doesn't work very well for me. It's a snapshot. I could have took that on my mobile phone or anything else. There's nothing special about it in that particular moment. I appreciate it might be family members and you've got attachment to it or something. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of a club competition, it's not really in the advanced league of photographs. It's a snapshot. It's not telling me enough into that picture. It's not giving me enough to look at and to experiment with. But saying that, if you were able to focus on that bit there, well, get his head in. Those shadows are nice there. That works quite well.
Okay, you want to know winners? Winners of the advanced round are as follows. Okay, commended is going for Ice Planet, Nick Tranter. Well done, superb. Third place is going to Sea Stacks at Sunset, Nick Tranter again. It's the theme here, Nick. 2 is Bee Eater, Paul Bate. Well done, superb image. And the winner is, I feel like we should have a drum roll. I think that's a bit too much for a drum roll in. Yeah. The Guardian, Kate Maxwell. Well done, everyone. Superb images. It was lovely to see all your images and to critique them, so thank you for that. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of that and you've learnt some bits from it as well, which is always good if people get to learn and take away some of the advice that I give onto those bits, because you might not have seen some of the bits in there as well. You might not agree with some of my advice, that's also okay. You're more than welcome to disagree. Leave a comment if you really do in the ones below. We'll have a little discussion, that's fine, into that. I appreciate you can't give me any feedback, it's not face to face. This is just me doing this virtually for you. So everyone, thank you very much for tuning in tonight and listening to my judging. Look forward to seeing you all again soon.